Okay,
Don't sound so
Councilman Collins.
No, I'm always saying yes to things and then going, what am I getting myself into? No, but
Wonderful.
on the topic of Crawford Park, we are investing right now in, painting the place and doing what we can to spruce it up and keep it up to date. And I will say I stopped by the other day to see the paint job, which finally got completed, and I was very pleased with it. It looks so nice.
Oh, really? Beautiful.
It really just looks so much richer than the blue room used to look. It's no longer a blue room. Now it's a nice tan, neutral color, and the fireplace, the marble around it that I never even noticed.
Would you mind, as part of this, also looking into a more reasonably priced fire exit so we can use that up the floor? Could you guys add that to your agenda as well?
Yeah,
I think we can definitely revisit
because
that.
those are just 3 beautiful rooms,
Huge.
or more,
They're
wasting
huge.
away.
Yeah.
Wasting away. Should be made available to the public. So if we could,
I still have my chain ladder when I used to live on the 3rd floor of my house. You could throw it out the
Yeah,
window.
perfect.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean,
That's what I got.
I don't know what happened.
Right out.
When the chamber was there, Kenny was all set to skinny down that line. Wonderful. Well, let's see. I'd like to push the envelope on that. Great. Well, thank you so much, Deputy Supervisor Villanova.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Collins, for volunteering. Great. Okay. Moving the meeting date from August 20th to August 27th. Who can't make? I know I can't make it on the 20th. Did anybody else not be able to make it on the 20th? You can't, Mr. Tippett?
I actually will not be here on the 20th.
All right, so I guess, okay, so we challenge on a quorum. Does everybody happy to move it to the 27th?
I have no problem.
Is anybody not here on the 27th?
I don't know.
Okay, then,
As of
as of today.
as of
right.
today.
Okay, so, and Senator, no, you're here on the 27th?
Do I have to answer? Yeah.
You thought you were getting a month
I will
off?
be in town.
You'll be,
Doesn't mean I'll be in this room. I'll be in town. No,
Are you having a parks meeting that night?
well, actually, no.
Because
No.
then we could move it up a little bit earlier.
Oh, yeah, it's fine with me.
We could move it to 7.
Sounds
It's fine with me, 7 p.m.,
You,
good.
can
Is everybody
Councilman
good with
Nyers
that?
do That's your-
Yes.
Does that work for you, Councilman Nyers?
7 p.m.
Good. Can I get a motion to change the August meeting from the 20th to 27th and from 8 p.m. to 7 p.m.?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Markowitz. Good evening.
Excuse me. I'd just like to take this opportunity to update the town board on I&E legislation. Last month, the town passed significant changes to the existing town income and expense legislation. As a follow-up to note, the town then, in response to the 215 commercial filings at the Board of Assessment Review level, sent each and every complainant a letter advising them of changes to the town income and expense legislation, advising the 250 complainants that
250?
215.
215.
Advising them that they must file income and expense information no later than August 1st. The town added the incentive to the law, which provides for a penalty in the event they do not comply. I'm sort of happy to update the board on the status to date.
Yes,
It's
please.
only been 2 weeks.
Yep.
Of those 215 complaints, we've received 14 income and expense statements, which is, from my standpoint, very good news because it allows us to do a better job of assessing and allows us to create more accurate assessments. And we've also received 2 withdrawals, which is sort of a positive unintended consequence of the legislation.
Now, that's very helpful, thank you, but it sounds like we have a long way to go. That means we got 201. We're going to make a lot of money this year because we got 199 people. They're going to be paying us 3%.
Yeah.
That's just down today. We're going to have an enforcement issue here that I'd like to
Put it on the
avoid.
tax bill, my friend. We're just going to put it on the tax bill.
What's the date they have to have it in by?
August 1st.
Jesus, this in 2 weeks' time?
Yes.
Well, we're not going to. No one's going to do that.
Why not? It's only an I&E. It's not where you're
No, I'm saying, but yeah, I mean, I think my expectations half the people don't open their mail. No, I'm serious. I'm
Well, remember
telling
something.
you.
It is up to 3%, and the assessor does have some discretion. So,
Well, there's not going to, but I think the thing is, well, I have a couple of questions. One is, there's no, we really need to work very hard to generate compliance, right? And if people don't want to comply, that's fine. But someone would have to be absolutely and totally insane not to comply. So if you're aware, you either give us the INE or you withdraw. You're not, because just to be absolutely clear for the people at home and the commercial property owners that are probably not watching tonight, but 3% is equivalent to the tax they would pay. So it's like saying, I'm going to pay tax, and it's a penalty, so they still owe the tax. Just like saying, I'm not going to give an INE and I want to double my tax. Now, we all know why we've done this, and I've been leading the charge on this, but in good conscience, people, they need to know that this is happening, and, information dribbles out slowly. So one question I have is, can't we call these people?
We can certainly do that.
I would suggest this. It is a new law. I would suggest that the assessor's office reach out to the people that have not yet complied with a reminder.
Written or
written.
both? And what about
verbal as well. I mean, maybe, as you said, they're not answering their mail. I mean, it's an extra,
right,
a little extra work for the assessor's office. But, yeah, I mean, that would be the right thing to do. And I said there is some discretion. It's a first year, so he may not, if someone comes in with a legitimate,
What I want to make this as discretion-free as possible.
No, I understood, but this is a new thing. It's brand new.
Well, I'm not, but discretion's going to be what? That they have an extra few days?
Or that it's a 1% penalty and not 3%. I mean, I'm just...
No,
Yeah, but that's what the resolution
No.
passed.
No, the law says up to 3%.
Right.
Yeah, so up to doesn't mean it's at 3, it's up to 3.
Right, but the resolution we passed is that could be 1%.
No,
it could be,
Paul's
Right.
town attorney
I'm saying
said-
the assessor has some discretion.
Correct, and I'm
Right.
supporting that.
Right. So why don't we do an outreach and see where that goes?
Well, certainly.
We could also reach out to the attorneys who file the certs, not to the property
We
owner.
have done that in writing. Understand, we sent them a letter.
Okay, good.
We sent them a copy.
Because they'd be the first ones to know, that there's an
We
issue.
sent them a copy of the INE form. We
Okay.
sent them a copy of the law,
Okay, good.
okay, along with the letter.
All right.
I think we're doing the right thing. I think we definitely have to try and do our part to let them know that we have,
Other than personal
created this
visits
law.
from the assessor, there's not much we can do.
The
And if we really want to get extreme, we can have personal visits from the supervisor. And you can, he
personal
can just
phone
show up at the
call.
I'll drive
office.
you, Joe, and you can just
No,
hop out and I'll
right.
stay in the car.
No,
We
but-
can certainly follow up with a reminder.
Well,
That's easy.
so
I think that we should.
what I would appreciate it, since this is a new policy, if you can send me and the board a weekly update on compliance.
Certainly.
And, look, this is, town attorney, and the fellow members of the board, we can't put this in place and not apply a penalty.
Understood. I mean,
I'm saying, so
I agree with
I'm
you.
talking to the board. My only question, August 1st is right around the corner. I'm wondering if, first of all, should we think about extending it now as a matter to like August 15th?
I don't know if we can.
Well, I'll make a suggestion.
Oh, we
The
did a
law-
public hearing, right?
Yeah,
a law.
you can't.
Okay, you can't.
You're not the president, so we have to. You can't change the law by executive decree.
Right.
Only the
Oh,
president
well,
can
the
do that.
board
So he
change it?
says.
Can this board tonight decide?
Well,
Just
extend it?
that was just my own political injecting my own
We are the
political.
legislature as well.
No, but you would have to. You would have to enact a new law giving you the authority. You can't do that. between now
I think
and
it's fine.
okay.
So,
Can I make a suggestion?
yes, please.
The law has built into it
Right.
the option for a 30-day extension, by the assessor in the submission of INE. My position is real simple. If they make the request by August 1 and they tell me they can't comply because of the lateness and the suddenness of the request, I will grant them an automatic extension of 30 days.
And and that gives you time to evaluate the role with that information if it's received?
We will be evaluating it for next year's assessment, which makes sense.
Well, hold on.
This was a transition year.
No, I understand, yeah, but you have to come up with a rule for September 15th, correct?
No, at this point, the bar has to come up with an assessment over September 15th. It is completely out of my hands. After June 1st, It is out of my hands. The only one who can change the assessment roll under the law is the Board of Assessment Review between June 1st and September 15th.
So the bar has until September 15th to change the roll?
Correct.
All right, and we're only talking about people who are subject to the bar.
Correct.
So if the bar gets the I&E by August 30th, assuming you use your discretionary powers to give a 30-day delay, my question is the bar, once it receives the I&E, then have the time it needs to change the valuation if need be?
Genuinely, no. With 200 submissions coming in the last few days, it's very difficult. But what it does do is it provides information to make any adjustments on a going forward basis, and be reminded that starting next year, they're required to file earlier.
Actually, so the 12 that submitted I&Es, how many of them, what percentage of value did they come in at?
They didn't, I'm sure they came in at 10% on their complaint form.
Right.
On the I&Es, they provide us income and expense.
So, Mr. Arcaro, would you work with Mr. Markowitz? And for everyone that submits an I&E, in fact, do an analysis of these first 14, please. And I want to see what the I&E says as compared with their market. And then I want to create, unless the board has a fundamental concern, I'm really ready for the wall of shame. And if they come in at $100,000 in value, and they're telling us that the property is worth $100,000, I think they should go up on the wall of shame. And I think that then, because all they're then saying is we're blatantly gaming the system, and unless the board has a strenuous objection, I think it's time for the town to create a wall of shame. Now, for those people that submit an I&E statement and tell you, I know my building's worth $1 million, but I'm only going to say it's $100,000 as a legal ploy to steal money from our school children. And I just want them to know, I want every school board to know, Ms. Capichi's here tonight, I want her to know that these enterprises are saying, you know what, I'm prepared to steal money from our school kids in Portchester. I know I've got $100,000 in revenue, and I'm net profit, and I'm saying, so the cap rate then becomes, the interest rate is 100%. So I don't know who in their right mind can think that they need to have a 100% return on investment. I think the interest rates last we checked on the thing we saw today is 2.6%. So that is egregious. That is egregious. That's heinous. And so, Mr. Arcaro, could you please stack up? I mean, are there any numbers that we're getting? Are they real?
We've only received them this week. I mean, today is Tuesday.
So, Mr. Arcaro, could you work very closely with Mr. Markowitz? I want to, as soon as possible, if by the end of this week, I want to see the 14 I&Es that came in, and I want to see the valuation they came in. And I'm going to make a public campaign. Starting with a letter to the Westmore News is you're good. You're still here, Clara. So the leading the wall of shame, and I'm going to call each one of these property owners, the first 14, and we'll give them a chance to revise their bar filing, and or withdraw it. But if we're at 100% cap rate, they're going to be in the wall of shame. So if we could get that, but we really need to reach out to these other 199 properties, because at the end of the day, they have no idea what's going to hit them.
Yeah, and the other thing is I don't think it's fair to the people who have submitted and have,
Exactly.
we don't want to be like, okay, we just keep extending it, and then it's like they didn't have to do this. And so if we created this law, we need to make sure that we're enforcing it so it's fair for everybody.
Right. Well, I tell you what I can do. When I have, on August 30th, I will have plenty of time between then and September 15th to go through each of those files and say, this is the net profit, and this is the value you've come in at. And they will have time to get put on the wall of shame. So hopefully the Board of Assessment Review that's been doing this for 20 years is capable of doing that. I can't imagine with 14 days they can't figure out which way's up. But I guarantee I can do it. And I'll work with Mr. Carl. I will do that. And it's just egregious that anybody would try and game the system. So it's time, push has come to shove. We want to give them a chance to give us the numbers, but at the end of the day, I can't wait to see these I&E statements and see the comparison between what they say the value is and their net profit. And we're going to have implied cap rates. Just tell the people at home, the cap rate, when they go to a judge, is 8%. 8%.
It's typically double digits.
All right, 10%?
10, 11, 12.
Okay, 10, 11, 12. Now, again, why the courts do that, that's another matter. But so if they come at 100% cap rate based on the income and expense statement, what would you say, Mr. Markowitz?
It's ridiculous.
Thank you. Okay, look, I have a couple of quick questions for you. And Mr. Nowotnik and Mr. Markowitz, the county owes us $40,000. They did the photos for every community. They told us they would pay us $40,000. I want that $40,000 back. We did the photos on the say-so that they'd pay us back, and that's 2 years ago. We still haven't got our money. I want our money back.
Let's hold the money that we owe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want Mr. Byrnes. Who makes the transfer to the county?
They pull from the account.
Who's they?
The county.
They can come in our account?
Well, we have to make sure the funds are there.
All right, well, make sure 40,000 are shy.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Let them come after us. Retention's 10%. Then have them talk to town attorney. No, it was just one a very successful case, and we had to congratulate him on that. Physical inspections. Where are we with physical inspections from Vision? This cost us $67,500 a year. It was supposed to be done in October. Got delayed because Superstorm Sandy. Now we're in July. What's the status of that?
They have finished last year's round.
When?
I believe in February they finished inspections. They did data entry into the Vision system in March and April, updated the information. In May, we recalculated values.
Okay, but how good? How much? What did we learn? How good was how many houses did we gain access to?
We gained interior access to approximately, I believe the number is 650 homes.
Out of how many?
Out of approximately
What's the target?
1,500.
So less than half.
Yes, and they also, as part of that, reviewed carefully the exterior of each home, whether they got in or did not get in. Okay, so that there were updates based upon exterior observations. Okay. They did follow up in terms of they visited each property twice and sent follow-up letters.
Well, look, this is a major expense for the town. It's $67,500. But would you make a presentation? Ask Vision to come here and make a presentation. Have them make a presentation next meeting.
Yes.
Okay. So if they could, and then we have to make a determination whether we want to go forward or not with these physical inspections of the properties. Okay, great. Other questions for Mr. Markowitz?
Part of that is that we want an analysis, right, to see how accurate we are.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
see if
How much are we getting value
Are
for
we
money?
correcting, or did we have it right to begin with using the
Beautiful.
prior technology?
Thank you, Mr. Markowitz. Anything else for us?
Oh,
No.
you know what? A quick question. How are we doing with the sharing of data between the assessor's office in the town and the Portchester Building Department?
Fine.
I'm not saying that there's a problem. I'm just
No.
I'm just saying, how is that going? Because I know that at one
We've
time...
provided them with historical property record cards, on a CD. We provide them with digital tax maps. We provide them with other information that's available through the website.
But are they providing us?
Well,
You see, because I think
I don't think this is a discussion for right here.
Well, no, I think we
They
should...
provide
we
us
should
with
discuss
copies
it. We should discuss it openly to say that a good thing, because we're talking about the physical inspections. So if someone does work on their home and there's a building permit that was opened and they do legitimate work on their house, it's good for us to know the change without having that access, right?
To answer that, we get from each building department, and there are 3 building departments within the town.
Right.
Okay, the Village of Portchester, the Village of Rybrook, and the Village of Mamaroneck. We receive copies of all building permits issued by the respective building departments.
Oh, great.
Okay, we always have, we still do. I will make the comment that the level of detail provided by each building department varies a whole lot, from highly detailed to somewhat sketchy. but in all cases, we receive copies of building permits, we review the building permits, we update records from building permits. I'll say that we receive, in a typical year, 600 to 700 building permits.
Right.
Okay, community-wide. We look at each and every one of them to make a determination as to what are the changes and what are the impacts of those changes.
So maybe something that we could do going forward, maybe through the supervisor's office, is to, have a documentation from the assessor, maybe with a bullet point, a list of items that he would be looking for to make the process better. Maybe we could send that letter to Mamaroneck, Rybrook, and Portchester saying that when the information comes from the building department with these building permits, please include the following information, because it'll help us be more accurate and maybe have a different purview rather than going into someone's home. We have that data ready to go. So, just a thought.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Deputy Superintendent. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have the team to make these phone calls? We have 199 phone calls to make.
We don't have 199 phone calls. We have, I'll say, 60, because we have representatives who are
well, even better.
20 properties plus.
Okay.
Right.
So we do not have.
So 60 phone calls.
Yes.
Great. Can we make those phone calls? And would
We
you
can
log
certainly
those?
make those.
Let's keep track. I want, when these people come, and when they
Have our
find out they
ducks
got
in
to
a
pay, and I'm charging the full 3%. I mean, they're going to have a real good excuse why I'm paying less than 3%. And so, I want to make every effort that they know what the rules are. And once they know the rules, So if you keep a log of the phone calls, that'd be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
We can
Thank
do
you so
that.
much, Mr. Markowitz.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to receiver. Okay. Sorry, the finance. Dave, Mr. Byrnes, anything?
I have nothing to add to this month. I submitted to the board the tax receivable summary report.
Right.
And I just want to alert the board, the next meeting, that we will present, work with the town accountant, Sam Terenzi, on a resolution for borrowing for...
No.
Okay.
We're going to close on the garage sale first. Second of all, I want to see an analysis. So I don't want to hear, I want to send us that analysis by the end of this week, and we will take it up. Incorporate the sale of the town garage in that analysis.
Is that projected date for that sale is?
What's the projected date for the sale?
The garage?
Yeah.
Yes.
October 31st?
What are you talking about? Oh, sorry. Apologize.
I haven't asked them if they're ready to close, whether they want to close.
No,
What do you want
but
to
that's
close?
just, okay, that was the question I just asked you. I want to close it yesterday.
It doesn't have to go back to the board to close. They've authorized the
Okay,
sale.
so but I want to...
You'll sign a contract. 30
we
days
have
are up, we can get a
so
petition, right?
So Mr. Byrnes is telling us he wants to borrow money. I don't want to borrow money. And it makes absolutely no sense for us to wait. Why are we waiting to sell the garage? We've agreed
Well,
it.
we have to wait for them to do their title search, number one.
As is, isn't it?
No, yeah.
No, they still have to do a title search.
All right, well, have them do it.
That's up to them. They will do
but
it.
no, it's not up to the... Well, okay, I'm going to make it clear to Mayor Rosenberg that I want the monies in prior to September 15th. If not, we're going to have to reconsider everything. I want the monies in.
right.
Close the deal. Why? I hate
We didn't.
this delay.
We didn't close the
Government
deal.
just kills me.
We
I gotta
approved
tell
the
you.
sale.
Yes.
We have a
They
contract.
approved it, and we've approved it.
Well, I don't know if they actually went
Yes,
to a
they did.
board
Yes,
meeting and
they
did it, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
They approved the
Before
sale
we did.
before we approved it.
Exactly.
Yeah, anyway, whatever. We have a contract of sale, which has to get signed, will get signed. 30 days just expired recently, so I have to, we can close.
So I'd like
You want to close before
I want to
October?
close before
right.
end of August. By the August 27th meeting.
I don't know if that'll happen, but I'll try.
Well, what's the...
I will
But
see
that was
what
our
the
goal.
situation.
Our goal.
I get
Why
it.
don't you call Mayor Rosenberg?
Yeah, exactly, I will. I'm
But
saying- Yeah.
before you do that, we have to have a conversation with the finance team about the use of the money. Okay?
What does that mean?
Well, because what the controller's office would say is that you can't just sell property and then use it to pay your bills. That's not the point of
We're not
selling the
using it to
property.
pay our
Well, you just said you want to use it to pay the county.
We're not, yeah, but, okay, so again...
You're saying you want to use it in lieu of getting a tan.
Mr. Byrnes, you're supposed to have a full-on presentation today. A full-on presentation about the unique situation of the town of Rye. We agreed that 6 weeks ago. And what that presentation would demonstrate, we have a $3 million budget and a $170 million tax collection.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, we're not using it to pay operating expenses. We're using it to fund the shortfall for our guarantee. It's a fundamentally different concept.
Understood.
But anyway, so I
do think, because the auditors...
It's a cash flow situation.
I understand.
And so
I'm not a finance guy, but I
what would be really silly is for us to be
to...
sitting with $3 million in our fund balance. In fact, actually,
Yeah.
that's how we've made payments in the past.
Right, well, fine, and that's a conversation we'll have with the finance team
So
and the
finance
controller's
team,
office.
I
but
want
I'm
a
just saying,
full-blown presentation, if I could please, Mr. Byrnes, and from you and you guys promised me that 6 weeks ago. It's deeply disappointing we don't have it. I really am disappointed I don't have anything. And here you are telling me willy-nilly that we're going to do a bond. That just makes no sense. I got to tell you, I apologize, but I'm disappointed. You promised it 6 weeks ago. And so if you could sit down with the town accountant.
I will.
And obviously, again, it's disappointing that we haven't coordinated better. So we've got $685,000 coming in.
No.
And that's disappointing that, we need to coordinate better, and I'll take my share of the responsibility. But can we have an analysis that incorporates the $685,000 sale?
Absolutely.
And hopefully obviates the need for the bond financing in October. But what we need to do is demonstrate to the general public is why this need occurs every year in October. So, and we sat down last time we were in my office.
Right, and provided data on that, so,
Right, so now we just need to put a presentation together for the public. If you'd have that ready for the August 27th meeting, I appreciate it.
Okay.
And hopefully we won't need the bond financing.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Honorable Mr. Mecca.
Good evening, Honorable Supervisor Carvin, members of the Town Council, Nicholas Mecca, 45 Alto Avenue, Portchester. Just want to alert the people at home and in the audience that are responsible for their village taxes that today we mailed out a notice if you are delinquent, because it was due the 30th of June, and of that we have something in the neighborhood of 500 parcels that have not been paid. So we have sent those out. Please, if you are in that position, try to rectify that as soon as possible, because soon we will now, as the Town Attorney Noto says, we begin to start proceedings on in-rem filings, and our office will begin to year-old taxes. That's when the 2012 taxes will be turned into liens. So I ask everybody out there or here, wherever, look at your financial situation and please look at your property taxes and see what you can do to get everything up to snuff. Okay?
Thank you so much, Mr.
Any
Mecca.
questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much. Mr. Noto. Oh, sorry, I apologize. Town
No,
Clerk
that's
Vespi, I
okay.
apologize.
I submitted my report.
I have nothing new to report.
Can you sorry, but where do we stand with, do we have any buildings we need to foreclose on and sell?
We will have I'll give you the address. We are taking title. We did get a judgment for... This is 38 Washington Mews. We did get a judgment from the court. I'm preparing the transfer docs now so that would be a potential sale. It has a assessed value for 2012 of $289,400.
So we took possession of it.
Yeah, we got.
What
we have
happened?
title. They didn't pay their taxes.
Did they?
Never responded.
Never responded.
Nothing. Not a word.
Just ignore
They're
it.
not off in Florida somewhere.
No, I mean,
So,
yeah, we'll find out as soon as we file the deed, right?
do we have any other buildings that?
Well, we took a vacant lot on Oriole Place, which I don't think is a buildable lot, right, John Bartlett? 'Cause that's okay. Yeah, that's landlocked. We took title to that as well, and there's a third parcel on Bowman Avenue which is vacant, which they insist they're going to pay. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but. It's the K&M Realty Group. They have approvals to build housing, I think, right? Is it Kip Koningsberg?
Well, what's the step, I mean...
Well, there's an investor who's been calling, I guess, getting payoff figures, so I think they're going to pay the taxes, but
How long are we intending to give them?
I'm not intending to give them much longer. So
I
we're
would-
about at the end of the rope.
I
with
would
them.
say if...
We have some other technical issues with that I can't discuss here at the meeting, but...
Okay, very good.
Anyway, so yeah, there's 38 Washington Mews. We can certainly either give it to the broker or put it up for auction.
All right. Mr. Nowotnik, would you follow up on that, please? Great, thank you, Mr. Noto. Crawford Park.
Bishop has to readdress us.
Oh, right, perfect.
Kill two birds with one stone.
There you go. Actually, let me go to the chase. Do we have a cap we can put on this? Is that
Yes,
what we rate? All right,
yes.
what's the cap?
All right, the cap would be 41.6 annually. If you want the comparison,
What's the weekly?
800.
All right, great. So we're agreed.
So we're going from
cap.
1170 a week
Yep.
to 800 a week.
Cap and it may be a little bit less.
Right,
Right.
and then if there's other special circumstances, we'll revisit.
Right.
So, you want to put an annual cap on it?
Well, you can say it
give
either way
yourself
you
that.
want. I mean, I prefer an annual cap only because it provides a touch more flexibility.
Yeah, seasonal changes
Right.
and whatnot, I'm fine with that.
And that's 41.6.
Beautiful. Any questions, comments from the board?
I'd like to put an annual cap on there for $43,000.
Why 40?
Okay.
I'll tell you why 43.
No, that's all right, you don't have to tell me.
Okay.
All right.
Going.
Can I get a motion to approve the resolution as amended with the cap of $43,000?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, the Crawford Park, any news on Crawford? We
Okay.
had a discussion on Crawford Park, just so you're aware.
Well, the only good news is that June was the first month that we actually beat last year's revenue numbers for Crawford Park.
Well, you know what? We
First
may
month
be-
this year.
We may be leveling out a little bit. And so Councilwoman Collins and myself are going to be on the ad hoc committee, and we're going to review the rental policy, and we're going to give a report back to the board.
Wonderful.
Bishop, while you're there, please just remind everyone the schedule with regards to the surplus equipment.
I have it right here.
Very good.
And Monday, the 22nd, we have a viewing of the equipment, if you will, from 10 a.m. Till 2 p.m. That's all the equipment is at Crawford Park. So bidders or potential bidders will be able to take a look at it there. Bid documents, if you will, are available from the clerk's office as well as from my office. And we do have an official bid document. Beyond that, we're going to accept sealed bids up until August 12th. And at that particular point, we'll open them up on August 12th. We'll put them together in a chart form. They'll be ready for your August meeting.
Perfect.
In terms of approving the sale of the equipment.
Wonderful. Well, listen, I want to thank Deputy Supervisor Villanova for being so assiduous in getting this. It makes infinite sense. We've been, we had comments from the public on this matter, and so thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your hard work on this, Mr. Nowotnik, as well.
The one thing with regards to the sale of the equipment, we discussed the opportunity of taking, obviously its value, and obviously the dollars that come in, we can look to see if we can reinvest that money in equipment that some of our staff uses day to day. So we're taking a revenue that wasn't there and reinvesting in it, and ultimately it's upgrading with zero cost to the taxpayers.
I think that's a great idea, Billy.
Thanks.
Terrific, Billy. Deputy Supervisor Villanova, thank you so much. That's wonderful. Good. All right, in fact, there's no Superintendent of Highways tonight.
Oh, yeah, just...
He has his report. Yeah.
Yeah, I got his report. I just want the board and staff to put on the horizon the Hillside Avenue Bridge. It's 2013 now. If things go according to plan, we'll be in the middle of another investment in capital expense for the bridge, but it's 25% of the cost because they're getting a 75% grant. So we got to think about that in 2016. But we have to think about that now, and we probably would need to prepare for that within the next 12 to 18 months.
Town Attorney, I just want to go back in terms of the leeway we're going to give these interim people. There's no leeway after, mid-September. If they haven't made good, then they're losing their property.
Right, well,
We know, because we're really long overdue now.
right, well, we had about 95%.
Yeah, I understand
payment.
that.
So
I'm
the
talking
only-
about, yeah,
here's-
but
the only
we
one-
told people they have to pay.
Yeah.
Not fair to the people that made the effort to
Yeah.
pay, and just let these, we've
Right.
got a payment on October 15th.
We did have one.
October 1st.
One did file bankruptcy. That was the Caputo Toll Gate did file bankruptcy, so we're stayed on that one.
Right.
And there were like two others that are just about wrapping up. So yeah, I mean, we're in good shape. I mean, as far as the 2013 goes. But yeah, I will.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're
Yeah.
being equitable to all the,
Yeah, I think we've been more than equitable to.
right, that's what I'm saying. I think now we're to the point where we're not being fair to the other people. Councilwoman Collins.
No comment.
Councilwoman Mendocino. Councilman Nioris.
No comment.
Deputy Supervisor Villanova.
I wish Goldie was here tonight so she can kind of see, how, at the end, but how everything came around. Goldie ultimately had the essence of everything that we were focusing on. Having our governments, sharing property with other governments, making it easy for the community. Goldie's obviously always a big advocate for the seniors in the community, and she spoke to that tonight. And so that was a big driving force behind our decisions, is to make it better for the community. And that being said, that's all I wanted to say. We made some really great decisions tonight. And like we said in the past, and this board works incredibly well together, and we have yet to see a government in New York State be as progressive as we are.
I'd just like to thank the employees of the town of Rye, Town Clerk Vespia, Receiver of Taxes, Mecca, Town Assessor, Markowitz, and Capisci. And the rest of the staff in town of Rye. I appreciate you've been working in a very volatile, uncertain environment. So I want to thank you for all your support through these difficult times. I really do appreciate it. I really am committed to making the move a success and to providing a better workspace to our staff going forward. I'm really confident we can do that, especially if we get Councilwoman Collins and Councilwoman Daly support in terms of sprucing up the space. I hope that's not a sexist, but I know you both have a wonderful eye for these kinds of things. And I want to just remind confidential secretary, the assistant town manager, Nowotnik, that I'm committed to making that space and so please get that architect on board as soon as possible so we can. Now, actually, when are we going to make a decision on the architect?
When we have a lease.
Do we have to wait for? I guess that's right. So we can't do it before August 27th.
Well, yes,
No,
you
you can.
Yes, you
Okay.
can if you have your space clearly defined or nearly so. Typically landlords will allow you to enter the space, to measure the space, evaluate the
But do we need
space
to come to bring that to the board?
prior to
Contract with the
your
architect
having a
will require
lease.
board
Yes.
approval, yeah.
Right. So therefore,
We're not-
Well, hold on. Stop. I apologize. So how are we going to get this approved before August 27th?
You're going to have a special meeting.
Okay. So when we think we'll be ready for that special meeting? Let's agree that tonight. I don't want to.
Well, you have to vet the architects
Well,
first.
I'm just trying to understand.
We received 7 architectural proposals
Right.
as of the 15th.
Right.
All right, I
When is
forwarded
it
to the board, the 15th. Now,
Okay.
that was the closing day.
Right.
We just got them
Yep.
basically Monday.
Right.
I did forward to the board a little comparative analysis of the rates that were being proposed.
Right.
We're going to try and narrow this thing down to maybe the 3 best architects we think will be best for us. Try to
when-
bring them in and interview them.
So let's decide now while we're all here, rather than this email, when we want to get together and select the architect. And
The board decision.
so we have the proposal. So we'll look. Do we want to get together? I don't know. Do you want to get together one of those early morning, late afternoon meetings? You want to do it Monday?
Next week.
Do you want to do Monday early, or you want to do Monday late afternoon? What's best for
Michelle
you?
and I are always better off in the afternoon.
Late afternoon.
Yeah. What time's good for you ladies? Billy, are you good?
See.
No.
You're not good. Well, we need 3, right? You're happy for us to meet without you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
First.
And you obviously settle till so you how about you, Councilman Yours? Do you know what your schedule is for next Monday?
I should be available.
You should be, okay, terrific.
Later
Later in the day?
5 o'clock would probably be
5 is best?
yeah.
Okay.
Nick needs to-
You want to say 5,
Wait,
5:30?
Nick has a question.
Oh, pardon me.
Do you require this room Monday, because we have a...
No, it'll be a very quick, I think when you have to, if we, town
You can do the
clerk,
conference room.
Vespia, we're sufficient, yeah, we could do that.
We're good to just-
So what time
This is just
Monday?
to help, this is just to make the
It'll be 10,
decision
15 minutes, yeah.
on the architect,
Are
yes?
you
5 o'clock?
Are you interviewing architects or just?
Oh, I don't know how.
Yeah, you're pulling.
Oh, we're interviewing
I
them?
mean, well, you have copies, I emailed copies of
Yeah.
all of the proposals to each of you. If, by process of elimination, if you see something there that bothers you about a particular architect, we can pull them out, and all of a sudden, they're less
Hold
to
on, sorry, I
evaluate.
apologize.
No, we can't
Hold
do that.
on, I
Yes,
apologize.
that's
So, yes, I'm not as familiar with these processes as some of my colleagues here. Are you suggesting that each of the architects be interviewed?
No, I think you can narrow it down to, let's say, you and Mr. Nowotnik could, and Mr. Arcaro could solicit from the board their opinions. That you can certainly do that by email. That's because it's not a vote.
That's what Bishop
And
had
then
done.
by that process, you could narrow it down to, let's say, the top 2, and then I think you should probably interview the top 2
Okay,
architects.
so who wants to do that? I know I don't, I'm the last person you want to interview an architect. Who wants to interview the architects?
If you could do next Tuesday, I'm fine.
No, but Billy, this is,
Just
no,
understand.
we want to get, that's the decision.
This is-
The interviews have to take place before that.
Well, I can interview next Tuesday.
Well, part
That's
of
what he's saying,
the
yeah.
rationale, Supervisor, is everyone has an opinion about how the space should look and be allocated at the new place. So I do think it's important, since you tend to have strong opinions about it, in which sometimes you and I have disagreed about the way the space should be allocated at Portchester, that you should talk to the architect and get a sense of what their thinking might be in terms of how we allocate our space.
Right, we have to remember, the architect's not a designer. They're
Right.
simply a space,
Right.
they're going to specialize in outlining the space. We're not picking out paint colors with them, or...
They have designers, some of these architects
they
have
do,
designers
but
on
we're
staff,
not-
and they will give you design assistance.
Is that what we're looking for?
I would
I'm
assume,
all for
I would
that.
assume
Obviously, I
yes.
want it
Again,
to look
it's
as
a board's
nice
decision.
as possible,
It's up to you.
but I
Well,
didn't know
I think
that was...
Councilwoman Collins, you've been involved with the space.
I know, I just don't want to keep saying yes and then under-deliver something. So
Well,
I've
it's a
got a
question of really, I
very,
think
very busy next 2 weeks.
Yeah, no,
So
I
I
hear
just
you
don't
loud
want
and
to
clear.
commit to something and then bail
Well,
last
who has
minute on
time
you.
to meet with the architects?
I'm fine next Tuesday night.
But are you going to, okay, but then we're going to meet with, subsequent to that, right? The board will meet.
Afterwards.
We'll have
Yeah,
to...
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think you would interview, and then you need to meet to select someone.
so,
That's a
okay.
board meeting you can do.
So
5
next
minutes.
Tuesday night, 23rd, you're going to interview with those architects that you
And I will
can
do my best to
assist.
assist in it. I
okay,
just
so
don't want to commit to you to...
Deputy Supervisor Villanova.
Bishop, if we can do,
Collins.
we'll try to do top 3.
Right?
And you want to do 7:30, 8 o'clock, or do you want to do 6:30?
I would say earlier is better. I mean, but it's fine with me. I'm flexible.
Well, let's do then 6:30, 7, and 7:30.
6:30,
Is that okay?
7. Yeah, half hour is more than enough time.
I agree.
Does that work for you, Kenneth?
Like I said, I'm going
All
to
right, now we have to decide when the board's
try,
going to
just
meet,
not
right?
promise.
And that's
Because then you're gonna
Tuesday?
make a recommendation to the board, correct?
Right, I mean, then the board will meet to
Yeah, but let's set that up. I don't want to spend 25 emails.
Yeah.
Let's decide it now.
Yeah, you can do that anytime.
Right, so, well, obviously after they met, do you want to do it the Wednesday
do-
morning following, or do you want to
Or we
do
could
it?
do that Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
No.
Well, don't you have to...
I don't want to make
Yeah.
a rush
to
decision
share your
on something
opinions with
like
everybody
that.
first?
Yeah.
Why don't we say what time Thursday? Thursday morning, or, why don't we say Thursday morning, or
Can't do Thursday.
Wednesday
I can't-
afternoon?
I can't do Wednesday or Thursday at any time.
Friday morning?
No more.
I'm on a flight Friday morning to Washington, D.C.
All right.
So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I can't do anything, but you guys can. I can offer my
you
opinion
only
as
need
long as
3.
you get 3 people.
Well, so Wednesday, how about, Councilman Norris, are you free Wednesday morning?
Next week?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like myself and Deputy Supervisor Villanova, I mean, you'll be involved in the decision, it's just a question of
Right.
effectuating the vote. If the 3 of us could make next Wednesday morning, we could do that.
We can.
Yeah, but as Councilman Norris, because it'll be just the 3 of us, I think. Otherwise, I guess we could do Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday, if it's Wednesday morning, next Wednesday has to be early. I got a meeting all day. That's the 24th, correct?
Yeah, I can do it. I know Councilman yours.
7:30?
Oh, actually, I mean, I could do the Wednesday afternoon if it's at 5 o'clock.
Okay, how's the Wednesday at 5? Does that work for you, Councilman Mendocino, or are you and Councilman yours and Deputy Supervisor Villanova?
No good.
Can you call in?
I could call in.
All right.
Yeah, but you can't vote by
He
call.
can also.
I understand, but he's going to tell us his recommendation by phone.
Or you can send an email to
And we
him.
won't be able to come.
Well, you can or you can't come Wednesday morning?
I can't
Okay,
come.
so how's Wednesday at 5? Does that work for you, Councilman yours? Let's get 4 to achieve 3 at least.
Right now works.
Okay, so
Okay.
Wednesday, 5 o'clock, you'll call in with your recommendations after having interviewed the people
Very good.
Tuesday night, and perfect. So
We'll
do
have
we
to
need to
keep a
have
very
a vote
structured meeting. I gotta get
so
in
can
now.
I get a
You
vote?
can call the meeting, you don't need a vote.
Oh, okay, so
The supervisor can call.
I am officially hereby calling a meeting of the town board of the town of Rye for Wednesday evening at 5 p.m., whatever date that
The
is.
24th.
24th,
And
Wednesday,
that purpose is
24th.
to
5 p.m.
select an architect.
Purpose to select an architect, yeah. Good, excellent. All right, can I bring a motion to bring it? I'll shorten the meeting by no remarks.
Yeah.
Okay, have a motion to bring the meeting to an end?
Double.
All in favor?
Aye.
Beautiful. Very good. Hey, Bill, you had a cell phone?